Fighting with button. Hey, welcome everybody. It's your girl Delores, just a pink girl in my pink world here on every social platforms. Some of you have just saw me minutes ago. Some of you saw me yesterday. Some of you all watching this will see me tomorrow. But for right now, we're going to be talking about everything that happened in Mania weekend. And J News, do you have anything to say to the good people?
Good evening across the world right now. It is about 10:16 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right now. We're going to review everything that has happened this past week in pro wrestling, including this weekend's night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania. So strap in and come along for the ride with us.
Yes, as you all see, I'm dog tired. So we might go a little bit quicker on some things. Some things we might take our time with. Okay? First of all, I would like to say, Triller TV, this is crazy. I've never had this problem with you all. But the fact that some of these shows, you had to buy Triller TV to, what you thought, see all these shows that they advertised that they were going to be on their channel. To only find out some of these shows they wanted you to pay to see. So like I had to get in the door, pay to get in the door, to pay to get in another door. That's not, nobody's gonna ever do that. You should either just send it straight somewhere and tell people to pay for it, or have it in a place where it's free and people come in and pay for it. But don't have us pay for something thinking we're gonna watch all this wrestling and half of the wrestling you gotta pay for. It's never been like this. And I didn't like it whatsoever. So, but again, just like I always do, I have to find a way to see it all. So I did see it all, but I just thought that was kind of a little bit screwy. But I don't know if you had that same experience, James.
No. I only watched Mania this weekend. I didn't watch any of the indie shows or anything like that. There's just too many of the shows.
Yeah, and they weren't as great either.
Oh, okay. So I mean, for all intents and purposes, I've never been a subscriber of Triller TV, so I've never, I don't know what the experience is like. But if you're saying it, I believe you, and do better.
Hey, Capybara. I would log in and be like, oh, I'm gonna watch this. I don't forget what kind of show. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna log into my Triller TV again because I was 38 high. I'm like, I paid. Normally what happens is people get free trials because Ruby's been up here for a couple of them. And sometimes you pay and you just get to watch all these shows which are under the GCW umbrella in the thing, in the show. They even had a special section this time for Mania weekend. For instance, to watch the CMLL Palm Slam Fest, J News, it costs $59.99. Wow. And I was like, that's one thing I'm gonna. HOG to watch them is $19.99. That is after you paid $10 to get into Triller TV.
Interesting.
$19.99 to watch Stardom. $19.99 to watch MLP. Only thing that was actually free was GCW.
Wow.
So, and GCW was throughout the weekend and had stars on other shows. Even with the Mark Hitchcock show, I think that they had they were free. But I could understand if they were charging because of the story that came out before WrestleMania. That they were to have been in Louisiana. He paid for the venue, and the venue not paid for the venue. He was set up for the contract for the venue and everything else. And then when he said WrestleMania changed, they said, but his contract don't change. And he is now having to go to court and possibly have to, well, he will have to pay for this venue that he is no longer using and won't be in. He also explained that he thought that TNA pulled the stunt they did because of being on the same night with AEW content and that it affected their numbers. Because he had been in contact with WWE and they seem to be communicative. And he even said that he saw some content and some things floating around that he knew that they didn't like. And he had contact with them and they didn't have a problem with communicating with him. So if it was a WWE issue, they would have never had any communication with him. It was a TNA problem. He said that he only did find out about it through the social media when people called him and asked him about it, and that he contacted talent. And when he contacted, when Leon was pulled, when he reached out to, I forgot, Brian Myers, that's when Brian Myers was like, I didn't know. And then he got a call. He said he called the president of TNA, asked them about it. They said, I will call you back. And then when asked about the call they had after he said that, he said, I never received the call till to this day. So I was glad he did the interview, got to see inside, behind the curtains of things. And that he wanted to have Ricochet and Leon Slater come out to be like a big star. But because of this, he's very tainted on TNA. So that doesn't seem like a thing that's going to work out in the future. So that was just about it. But we'll get into the other little surprises and misses and things that happen in WWE. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start off. Me and Jay News going to go to the back. We're going to start off by having a review of WWE. We're going to start off with Monday Night Raw. I appreciate them keeping these short. Lyra Valkyria defeated Charlotte Flair. LA Knight and the Usos, Jimmy and Jay Uso, defeated the MFTs of JC Mateo, Sokola, Tongaloa. And then we had Kyrie saying defeat Io Scott, and Dragon Lee and Javon Evans defeat JD McDonough and Rusev. J News, what did you like about this?
That's an interesting way to phrase a question. I didn't. Because you asked me what I like.
You see how I flew through there because I was like, normally I have a rule. If they have a good go home show, then the pay-per-view gonna be trash. If they have a trash go home show, like both of them are trash, I got hope that I'm gonna have a good time at the pay-per-view. They were trash, and I was like, okay, great pay-per-view coming. Like one I left. We'll talk about that. I felt like they choked me out, but yeah. So with that being said, because me and Jay New both hated it. That's what. As soon as I said that, that's what the mind I had is what I thought of Living Color. We were like, hated it. That was me. Next up is NXT. NXT episode 833 the next night on the 14th. On the CW, it was called Revenge, and it was week 1 of this. Kalani Jordan defeated Jada Parker. Callie Armstrong defeated Skylar Ray. WWE NXT title match, Tony D'Angelo kept his championship, defeating Ethan Page. For the WWE Speed title tournament semifinal match, Prosper defeated Dorian Van Dux. We had for the WWE women's NXT women's title, Lola Vice defeating JC Jane. J News, did you hate this a little less, or you hated it even?
No, I don't. I never. I don't look at it. I don't look at NXT the same way I look at the main roster. There's levels to all the different shows that come on during the week. I'm still a little bit confused as to why they're booking Jada Parker to lose so much. But that's just me though, I guess, because I'm a fan of Jada. I'm not too keen, even though Kalani's great in the ring from a character standpoint. Stuff from my perspective, it just hasn't hit with Kalani Jordan as of yet from a character standpoint. I think that Jada's a stronger character. Is she a stronger wrestler? Probably not. But I think Jada's a stronger character on NXT TV, and having Jada losing so much in recent weeks and months doesn't bode well from my perspective. It was nice to see Callie Armstrong finally re-debut on NXT. It was basically a squash match and things of that nature for her. She definitely, just based off of this match, I've seen other of her matches from Evolve. Based off of this match specifically, if this was your first experience or first watching of a Callie Armstrong match, it might seem like she needs a lot more work in the ring. I don't know if it was nerves or whatever the case is, but things didn't come off as smoothly as previous matches as I've seen with her. But good showing for Skylar Ray here in defeat, even though it was a quick squash type match. Skylar Ray did really, really well with selling, and she moved very well in the ring. Things were very fluid with her. I think Callie was just a little bit maybe hyped up during the match or whatever, and it looked the way that it looked. But it is what it is there. Tony D, him retaining, that's fine. EK Prosper, who is that, Delores? Who is EK Prosper? Do we know who that is? Is that Eli Knight's new name? Oh, okay. Delores isn't with us right now, but it is what it is there. And then Lola Vice got her win and retained her championship against JC Jane, who was going for her rematch there. So, it was a decent episode of NXT. Nothing crazy. But I definitely prefer to watch NXT every week over what's been going on in the main roster as of late. And this weekend didn't really help much with that.
Yes, EK Prosper's new name, Eli Knight's new name is EK Prosper.
Yeah, so good thing there, WWE. Good thing.
Only if they could do that with their main roster.
Yeah.
Next, we're on to SmackDown. SmackDown took place on the 17th on the USA Network, episode 1391. We had an 8-man tag team street fight. Unless I'm tongue-tied. 8-man tag team street fight with the MFTs, JC Mateo, Sokola. They call it Tala. That's crazy. And Tamatonga defeated the Wyatt six of Dexter Loomis, Eric Rowan, JC, Joe Gacy, Uncle Howdy. We had the WWE Tag Team title match with Damian Priest and R-Truth defeated Grayson Waller and Kofi Kingston. We had the WWE United States title #1 contendership match where Tiffany Stratton defeated Jordan Grace. We had Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria in a no contest. It ended in 35 seconds. I literally got up, went to go get some water, and it was over. We had the Andre the Giant Memorial 2026 Battle Royal match where Royce Keys won and defeated Akira Tozawa, Aleister Black, Alex Shelley, Angel Apollo Cruz, Axiom, Berto, Chris Sabin, Cruz del Toro, El Grande Americano, Ilya Dragunov, Joaquin Wild, Joe Hendry, Johnny Gargano, Kit Wilson, La Parka, Matt Cardona, Nathan Frazier, Otis, Psycho Clown, Ray Phoenix, Shiloh Hill, Shinsuke Nakamura, Talatonga, the original El Grande Americano. Now this bullshit, I'm gonna be this late at night. This bullshit with the Grande Americano and the Orange Americano and Americano. I get what the fuck? Get this over with. Get this off my TV. Because we already don't identify everybody. Stop it. Stop it. I'm getting frustrated every time I got to see this on AAA, on SmackDown and Monday Night Raw. Stop this shit. But J News, what did you think about it?
SmackDown. I actually went through SmackDown and did a watch through of it. It seems to be that this was the final nail in the coffin between the MFTs and the Wyatt Six, so that's something to look forward to as they finally finish that feud. Damian Priest and R-Truth continue to do their thing. Grayson Waller and Kofi Kingston didn't necessarily look too cohesive in the match, but it is what it is there. Tiffany Stratton defeating Jordynne Grace in this match. Jordan didn't look like her usual self, if I'm being completely honest with you. Tiffany was decent. She won her match, and she's probably gonna end up winning that Women's United States Championship from Julia, because the second run for Julia hasn't been any better than her first. If I'm being completely honest, there, just from my own personal opinion. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair against Bayley and Lyra. That ended in a no contest due to the irresistible forces coming down to the ring and interfering. That was a bit of foreshadowing for WrestleMania weekend, as it seemed like the ladies didn't get much time during WrestleMania weekend. So that was a bit of foreshadowing there. And then I guess it was a good moment for the homie, Big Will Hobbs, a.k.a. Royce Keys, getting the win here for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. They had debuted him the week prior, and then him getting this win here on the SmackDown before WrestleMania weekend, I guess, was cool. I hope that they continue to build with him and give him something of substance to do on the shows going forward.
Yes, and hi to the person who came in the chat. Now we're going to go over to AAA. AAA only had 2 matches on the 14th on 8. Episode 14th on the 18th. It was Lindsay Dorado defeating Aerostar and Joaquin Wild. And for AAA mixed tag team title match, Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana defeated La Hedra, and I can't pronounce it right. Dinamico. On to WrestleMania Night 1 and the watch along that I had. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. We saw LA Knight and the Usos of Jimmy and Jay Uso defeat Asho Speed in the Vision. We saw the unsanctioned match where Jacob Fatu defeated Drew McIntyre. We saw the WWE Women's Tag Team title 4-way match and in a title change with Brie and not her sister Nikki, but Paige. We saw for the WWE Women's Intercontinental title match, Becky Lynch defeat AJ Lee. We had Gunther defeating Seth Rollins. For the WWE Women's World title match, Liv Morgan defeated Stephanie Vaquer. For the undisputed WWE title match, Cody Rhodes defeated Randy Orton, but Randy decided to give us what I've been waiting for my lifetime, him to kick somebody in the head again. For me, I'll just tell you, it kind of sucked, and I must say that as a watcher. The LA Knight Usos match, it was like Asho Speed ended up being turned against, and then the Usos and Knight had to help him. Mind you, in my head, I'm thinking, y'all were beefing about 5 minutes ago, and also LA Knight, you were beefing with him so bad that you broke at his house and messed up his stream, but now y'all friends to go, my friend is my enemy. Okay, that's cool. But then you had Jacob Fatu defeated Drew McIntyre. I was ecstatic about that. Little concerned when the match started off with Jacob diving on the outside, and Drew had not let go of his sword. I was like, he was dropping it as Homeboy was close to hitting him. I was like, hey, Drew, don't be stabbing nobody. The women's match, that I hate to repeat this, but it was the best that I've seen Paige look in a while. Maybe WWE fits her well, because it's not about the wrestling, it's about the character. Becky Lynch, AJ Lee match didn't give me what I wanted, but AJ Lee might be taking some time off. There's nothing else I see her doing unless she goes against Roxanne. Gunther defeated Seth Rollins. To me, seemed like a guaranteed thing. It just wasn't the greatest match I thought it could be. Liv Morgan and Stephanie McCurdy, that is the match that I wish had never ever happened. That High School Musical damn dance number that woman, Liv Morgan did was a hot atrocity. And whoever decided to let her do that, they need to be burned at the stakes. Okay? Because there ain't no way y'all let this woman come out there who is normally dressed to the nines with two black eyes are not upside her head, and then she lip singing to a song that don't even sound good. That the crowd was actively booing in the background. Nobody wants to hear that. It's not a chart topper. You know what it reminded me of? And I must admit, compared to Side by Side, because I went back and listened to it. Brooke Hogan's song was way better than that. And when it comes to Cody Rhodes, the match wasn't as great as I thought it was. It did give me crumbs that he might be going heel. But he always does that. So I had the crumbs. Hey, I mean, people who loved it, I just didn't love it because I like rhythm and I like notes to be hit, and she wasn't doing none of that. Also the swinging upside down, the man. Also, what's his name? Corey Graves also pointed out that this was supposed to be the imitation of her video, and then somebody pointed out that in the video she gets a lower back tattoo that she does not have when she does the entrance. I don't know who was up there putting this together, but they need to try again. I'd rather hear. Somebody said on a review, Julian has to be at home. Like, they never gave me that type of time, and I was over with my bad singing. Shameful. J News, what do you got to say about night one?
Yeah, I discussed night one with a friend of mine yesterday, and I'll repeat the same thing that I said to him. Night one wasn't it. For the most part, the main reason as to why I didn't like night one was just because a lot of the matches were cut short. A lot of abrupt endings, no real builds through the matches. The structure of the matches were not put together well. That includes the LA Knight and the Usos match. Like you said, Delores, the whole thing about the iShow speed spot just didn't make any logical sense at that point in time after it happened. I was looking forward to Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre, but much like yourself, it didn't give me what I wanted. The WWE has to, in general, just understand. They understand as to where they are in the mainstream, right? So to put it out there that you're going to be holding or hosting an unsanctioned match when there's other wrestling promotions that do similar kind of matches and you're just going to under deliver is like you're just cheating your fans at the end of the day. And then on top of everything else, like I said, like I was saying initially, I felt like Jacob won out of nowhere when the match ended. I was like, what the hell just happened? So there's that. The WWE Women's Tag Team Fatal 4-Way match got no time. Like I said about SmackDown, it was basically they telegraphed it. It was something that they were telling us, but people weren't paying attention to. The girls got no time here. I felt for all of them, to be quite honest, because they got no time. There was more. This was reported. There was more time given to commercials and ad spots than there were for the wrestling on night one specifically.
Yes, I know we went through. I had two. Normally, I can go through one, but two. I said just for cats because mom, for those who don't know, my mom is sick. So two Be Right Backs. I played them two Be Right Backs at least 3 or 4 times because you would see a commercial and then next thing you know, after that commercial went off, it'll put like 4 minutes in the corner, and it's like, well, I can't just be sitting here by myself for 4 minutes, So it's like they. And I have to be honest sometimes. Looking at that women's match, I don't think I wanted to go any further. They were missing kicks and missing people by the head, and it was bad. It was already bad. We started out bad when Jimmy couldn't hit the 1D correctly. At that point, I was like, okay, well, maybe we're going to prove. The Drew and Jacob match, it wasn't that quick. I mean, it was quick, but it was like, what did we accomplish here? Yes, it seemed like you wanted him to win to be the star, but where does he go from here? The women's match, I initially watched it. That's why I say it was good for Paige, because it was so clunky that it was good. Like it was like she could fit right in there and be good in the clunky mess. So it's like I seen kicks that were like this far away from each other. All of those things. So it's at that point, it's like, okay, so nobody seemed to be clicking together. Like even Charlotte and Alexa didn't quite, when they did tag team moves, didn't click together. It's like, we're supposed to click on the count of 3, and then one of them kicks on the count of 2, one over there on 3. So it's like, that's why I felt like when I hear people talk about the women's wrestling, that match, also Liv was sloppy in her match. The way I can look at it and say, I don't feel bad that they cut their time.
Yeah, just to finish out with the matches and stuff, I had already talked about the women's tag match. Yeah, it just wasn't it for me. I felt bad for the girls. At the end of the day, I felt like they didn't get enough time. The main reason as to why I'm not even, you know what? Let me not say that. Let me not preempt it and say this. Paige's return was spoiled the night before via the internet and via the wrestling journalists, because it came out the night before that she had re-signed with the WWE. So with people knowing that Nikki Bella was hurt, it only made sense for Paige to be a part of this match, which is fine. She considers WWE her home. That is absolutely fine. Because that's where she went to NXT. She was one of the last divas of that particular era, and she helped usher in that women's revolution in the WWE back in the 2014 2015 years and stuff like that. I hope that they do something credible for her with this run here, being that she's going to continue to wrestle. To your point, Delores, I felt like this is the best she's looked in quite some time, and mind you, it was only like a 7-minute match or whatever the case is, but she did look good in there, so I give her credit for that. But I've seen a lot better from all these ladies involved in this match, which is why I was just completely disappointed by it. The Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee match, I understand that people consider Becky Lynch one of the biggest wrestling stars to ever come out of the women's division, and I understand the why, right? And I was initially when she started coming up in the WWE, I was a fan, and now it's just like I can't bother with her matches because they all feel the same at the end of the day. And that's what I have to say about that. The Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee match under-delivered for me, and the title change coupled with AJ's post-match interview basically saying it's not goodbye, but it's, see you later maybe, said a lot to me, because the way she came back earlier this year and then she signed her contract on camera, and it's like, oh, we're going to get AJ Lee for a bit here. And it's like, well, it's not that at all. I feel like she probably signed a deal for a few matches, and then that was it. You know what I'm saying?
And she had some interviews where I'm not gonna say she had a Punk moment. The one that got me initially was the one where she sat down with Stephanie, and you know how like they have these interviews with Stephanie, and sometimes you'll see somebody look at her like that ain't how it went, but they'll go along with her story. And AJ was just more like, no, I know, I don't remember it like that. I didn't, and I want better for the ladies, and this, and just Brian and short matches and that. So I think at a certain point when she started being more vocal, and it went from when she signed the contract, like these ladies are getting, a better chance and do this, and I do this. It's like she went to, I think they are doing better. I don't know. And even CM Punk had an interview recently where he was like, I wanted her to see the locker room had changed. And
it has. The locker room
hasn't changed. Like AJ would like a more athletic WWE. WWE is like, you can be cute and athletic. But
yeah, I'll put it this way. The WWE has athletic women on their roster. Yeah. The style that they wrestle doesn't lend to athletic perception. And I'll go into that when we get into night 2. Yeah. But at the end of the day, like I said, Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee disappointed me. For 1, the time, 2, I'm just not a fan of Becky Lynch. And then 3, AJ Lee's return to the ring since it's happened has been, it just hasn't been good in my eyes. So I just want to say it that way.
Hasn't he wrestled one woman repeatedly?
Yeah, she's just been, it's been Becky for the most part involved with her, and then that's about it. I haven't seen anything great out of it all. Not to say that she's been that she's looked bad in the ring. That's not what I'm saying. It's just been lackluster. Like there hasn't been anything for me to grab onto with AJ Lee's return, which is sad, and that sucks. And yet again, I'm only speaking from my own perspective. To round out the night 1 stuff, Gunther versus Seth Rollins to me was the best match of the night, but they also left a lot of meat on the bone with that match as well. Because what was it? Gunther won because
Ron Breaker came out and got
coming out and spearing Seth Rollins. He went back for a second one after the match was over. It had been reported during the week that Braun Breaker was already cleared to wrestle, but he was cleared too late to have the Mania match, which is fine. So you have him interfere here. So from a storyline perspective, that makes sense. Otherwise, Gunther and Seth Rollins delivered a decent wrestling match, but not their best. And it is WrestleMania. So it's like, so we're going to get half-ass matches even at WrestleMania. I'm not keen on that.
It felt like a SmackDown show.
Yeah, so there's that of it. The Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Vaquera match, that match, I felt so bad for Stephanie, man. And it has nothing to do with Liv winning. Their feud on TV has been the best thing going. And they got no time during their match. No time.
She spent most of the time dancing to the doggone ring.
It has nothing to do with the performance aspect of it, to the ring, Delores. It has everything to do with how this match got booked. They spent 6 minutes, I think it was 6 minutes and 48 seconds, something to that effect. Stephanie and Liv deserve more than that. They had the most heat going into this entire weekend, and they got no time.
But what was Liv injured? Not injured, but was she hurt?
No, I mean, she what was it? The knot on her head? She's not. She obviously passed concussion protocol.
Well, so WWE,
she was in there. Yeah, she wasn't in there wrestling with a concussion. So
I think WWE doesn't quite. I'm not gonna say they quite. I just don't think they pay attention. Whoever's running it doesn't pay attention, because we've had 2 WrestleManias where a woman forfeits her title due to pregnancy. And if I last checked, that doesn't just change overnight. And they both were pregnant for a while. That's something that if you take a test you would know before you went out there. And I'm assuming nobody did any real testing. And I don't think people really check into things unless they want to find something. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't imagine Jeff Hardy went that long before somebody decided that they wanted to pop him for something. That gets me. You can't go that long and look at that man and think, oh, something's not happening. So I think their system is not the greatest. They overlook things at a certain point.
I mean, look,
we can go all the way back to CM Punk talking about how they overlooked and messed up his
right.
body.
All I think every promotion has done that sort of thing. But even with this particular women's world title match, like I don't think Liv was hurt. She was ready to go. It was a physical. It was more of a. It was the bump on the head and the black eye, and her going through concussion protocol and passing could have led to them having more time on the show. But they decided to give more time to ads and commercials and sponsors than the actual wrestling going on inside the ring. And these girls, I think, were cut short even on that. So I felt bad for Steph. I felt bad for Liv. I hate, and I hate using the word hate, but hey, I'll put it here. I hate the whole quote unquote WrestleMania moment thing. Like that shit is empty to me at the end of the day. These people put their freaking full on blood, sweat, and tears into their entire year for this moment, and they get no time to freaking go out there and kill it for the fans who paid all this goddamn money, and they get shortchanged for it. Like that's forget disappointing. That's just highway robbery at the end of the day. So I'll end that there. And then I made a joke yesterday with a friend of mine when I was watching the Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton match, where I said to my boy, I was like, "Yo, glad to see Cody Rhodes is still out here overbooking matches." This, nah. Y'all missed me with this.
They tried to have for both nights of WrestleMania. There were two matches where they tried to do the AJ Styles, John Cena match where it's like, I do your move, you do my move, we do our move. It was sickening. But the point we got me was me and the fans in the crowd. If y'all go back and look at the chat, I was screaming, I love Cody. I love him down. Love him down. But I was screaming, Randy, this is the moment. Since 2020 was the last time he punted somebody in the head. I needed him to do that for me, okay? But once he kicked Cody like he kicked Cody, and Cody eye immediately like swole up like a golf ball and shut, I was like, I think you might have hurt that man in a way that I hope he can make it to the next pay-per-view. Because if you look at the video of the after show, they were pressing Cody out, trying to like almost like push it back. I was like, Cody, you booked this match for you to win, for you to end up losing in the end because you took a punch to the eye. Also, Pat McAfee. I don't understand the purpose of Jelly Roll being out there. Okay, I do, but I don't. Jelly Roll, you came out there. You say, give us a back thing up off the head. You see Pat go up the ring, he gives you the thumbs up and the FU, and then you let Pat go in the back, and you go in the back, but you let Pat come back out, and you didn't come back out. So what was your purpose of being there?
Yeah, I feel like that's one of the things I mentioned to my friend yesterday. I said, by majority, I enjoyed what was happening within the wrestling match, but the Pat McAfee stuff and then the sequence to the finish and how it all went down, I then asked myself, was this even necessary? Like, I just don't know the necessity of all this. And it's like, okay, so Cody and Randy aren't over at the end of the day. This feud is going to continue. Randy punts Cody after the match is over. At some point, during the match, which I couldn't notice, and I didn't necessarily notice as to how it happened. Cody gets busted open, right? And then maybe 5 minutes after the initial part where he gets busted open, he gets busted open even more to where more blood starts coming out of his head. And then whatever the finish to the match happens, Cody wins, he gets punted, and then we come to find out due to post match camera work or whatever, them in the back, that Cody has his eyes swollen shut, and that Randy's punt basically injured him. And
yes,
like, well, okay.
If you look at it back in real time, because I was screaming, I was like, punt him. But as he punted him, I have heard in different interviews, Cody likes to make it look as real as possible. There's no way I would tell a grown man to kick me. Because if you look back, you know how Randy normally cocks back, but he kind of swings a little bit.
Right.
He gave him the punt of his life.
So I disagree with you, Delores. From my vantage point, the way that I viewed it, I didn't think Randy hit him hard at all. So, we're looking at the same thing. So you're saying he kicked him as hard as he possibly could. I thought Randy was real soft with him, to be quite honest.
At first I thought, but they replayed it again, and then after they did the replay, they zoomed in on Cody's face, and Cody's eye was already shut.
Oh yeah, sure.
Shut. So, and I was like, okay. But once he got in the back and they zoomed in on it, it was swollen where it looks like his eyeball was gonna fall out.
Yeah,
and they started pressing it. And I was like, oh no, you took it too far now.
It was crazy because it didn't look that hard when he did it. So I was like, okay, I think because I felt the way that it looked, right, the way that Randy was positioned, I felt like Randy went for it, but in the safest way possible. But it's still it still hurt Cody, and it obviously gave him that overly swollen eye and things of that nature. And it's like, okay, so this is gonna add to the feud, right? They're gonna use this.
And Cody is the bad guy now because in the match,
no,
Randy
not really.
the good guy. And somebody asked me, why is Randy Orton and Pat McAfee together? And I said, it's obvious. They was like, no, it's not. I was like, it's very obvious. And they were like, how's it obvious? What is Pat? A punter.
Okay, sure. I guess.
And most people think he's a great punter. And Randy punts people. And I saw the punting coming, and I was screaming for it because I'm like, he needs to punt somebody. And when you remember when Randy was like, oh, he's like a teacher, he's like, that's what I was like, okay, he's gonna punt somebody. Who, when, where, I don't know, but he's gonna punt somebody because the mentor done taught him how to correctly like punt somebody and keep them down. Okay. And I didn't think it was gonna happen in real life. Like he was gonna punt him, because Randy knows how to pull a punt. I didn't think he would. As soon as he hit him, Jay News, it was a sound through, because I had headphones on, where you hit him, and I was like, "Oh shit, that sounds bad." And then
that didn't come through on TV.
And then they played it again, and then because I look through the app on my TV screen, so when I hear it through my headphones, because I play it through my Roku, I hear it through my headphones. I'm like, damn, that hurt. I jumped back and was like, oh. And then next thing you know, they play it again. They zoom in on Cody. And when they zoom in on Cody, his eyes swell. I'm like, sir, you can't fake this. This is painful. So I was like, oh, okay. Also on this show, we had Bianca Belair revealing her pregnancy. So we got to see. CJ knows I told you. I knew that girl was pregnant.
Yeah, but she's not that far along. that's
she got pregnant during the time she was the first initial off. What broke my heart was when she started to like cry, because if you watch her reality show, her fear was that even when her and Montel went to that specialist, that she was gonna get pregnant and lose her spot. And she's like, I'm in WrestleMania, I'm doing commercials, and she had to have an uncomfortable conversation with Montez, like, I want a family. but I don't know if this is the right time, especially with my career doing so great. And so to see her in WrestleMania and people are cheering for her and they want to see her wrestle, and a girl on TikTok, I forgot her name, tagged her and told her she would give her finger. And people were sending messages like, when you come back, when you come back, da-da-da. So when she started doing the finger videos and her and Montez did that Valentine's thing, I was like, well, y'all both like eating healthy. And last time I checked, generally men eat healthy like that with a woman when she's pregnant. And so that's when I started to be like, okay, wait a minute. I think she might be pregnant. And then when she came out with the big coat, I was like, oh, I now see. Like, even when you see a lot of other people watch along, the women, as soon as she comes out, we're like, she pregnant? Because it's the thing of like, men buy the food, they do the thing. So y'all eating with us. Y'all having a good time eating. We eating, you eating, we eating together. Y'all gained a little weight. Jimmy gained a little couple of pounds himself. But you see it's a happy moment. But for her, she's expressed that it's a kind of fear for her to have gotten to this moment, gotten to this height, and now potentially lose it. And she also talked about talking to Becky and other women in the locker room. But it's just like, and when she cried at John Cena, I'm like, man, I don't want you to like, I want you to know that you can come back and do this. Like Becky's come back and do it. Nikki, so many other women's. Jade is a mom. All these people are moms and come back and snap back and come and do it. That, you know, hopefully that she's even said she's talked to like Jade and stuff, that she knows that she's welcomed and like can come back and do the same things that she did before. I just want her to know that. Also, being that she's had that, is it anorexia they would call it? I forgot what they call it. That she's had that before, that she doesn't have a negative like body image view of herself. That was her concern too. She wanted to make sure she maintained her spot in WWE, and also that, you know, the things that she had been through in college and stuff about her weight did not affect her as a pregnant woman. And I was just like, seeing her there, it was like, you finally get this thing. And as a woman, most women go through that. You get this thing, but you don't know how it affects your career or what you're going to do or what's next in your life. And it's like, she went from like super happy to super sad and super happy. And I was like, I just want the best for her. And I think all the women I saw online and everything else were just ecstatic that she's getting to be a mom and come back and be a wrestler and just live the life she's always wanted.
Yeah, it was a terrific moment for her to come out and share that with the fan base and whatnot. The only thing that concerned me when I was watching her unzip her, I guess her robe, if you want to call it that and whatnot, is that she still doesn't have complete use of her hand, the one that was injured.
Yeah.
So that's still a little worrisome. Hopefully, you know, her rehab continues and progresses well and things of that nature. Obviously, congratulations to her and Tez on the baby and stuff like that. Hopefully everything goes well. She, you know, now in 2026, I understand the worry she has on her brain, but because of what has transpired with women's wrestling within the last 10 years and stuff like that, with as good as she is, I don't think she really has much to worry about and things of that nature, unless things change and she just doesn't want to come back after giving birth and things of that nature, because that can change as well. So, you know, it's all going to be up to as to whatever decisions she ends up making for her family and things of that nature. And if she wants to come back, I don't think worrying about that spot is going to be is something that she should be worrying about right now or even in the future, because she's too good to not get back to the top at the end of the day.
Yeah,
so,
I think that's for, I think she mentioned it or somebody else mentioned it, a wrestler, that they hear these stories of women going, you know, I used to run 50 miles until I had a kid. Now I can't even run down the street or something like that. And, you know, that stuff sticks to you because you're like, oh, this woman has had this experience. I've seen 5 women tell me that, you know, it's hard or different things like that. Whereas I think when she mentioned Becky and them talking to her, it was more like, yes, it's difficult. Girl, I might feel like I might have to pee. Or something like that. But you know, I did it and I got back to my conditioning and stuff, and it was good. And seeing Taz done lost some weight, so I'm like, okay, Taz, go ahead. But again, and I also want to know why we keep having WrestleMania hosts. They don't do nothing. They don't do nothing. It's a waste of time and money for you to have somebody come out there, especially John Cena. And that was the only thing. He's just like, oh, attendance. And she's like, oh, the woman. We didn't really need him there. I do appreciate him. You know, John Cena has an openness now as a non-wrestler than I think he did as a wrestler. Because even at like the red carpet of the Hall of Fame, Peter Rosenberg was like, oh, you got some nice hair. You know, we talked about it. And he was like, oh, you know, I got this fixed. Shout out to Dr. Such and Such. And I was like, oh, okay. I appreciate you. Don't pretend like you don't know that HOL. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to night 2 that just happened earlier. I was up there fighting for my life. Fighting for my life. Hold on. I put me in J News. Trying to find where it's just me. Nobody. There we go. Blind today, ladies and gentlemen. We had WrestleMania pay-per-view. I'm just going to say it from the start. Femi defeated Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar retired. So in my brain, now J News, this is not reflective of J News. A black man beat Brock Lesnar. He got so upset he quit. We was laughing in the chat. I was like, he got so upset and beat him. Because first of all, it was optics. It's the optics that we have been saying that Brock has been beating black talent quickly. And quickly he got beat. But he was sobbing in the middle of the ring, taking off his stuff, crying in Paul's arms. Paul cried with him. I was like, optic, I could put this in a movie where like he finally beats the black man, and then the black man finally beats him, and then all of a sudden he's upset. For the WWE Intercontinental title 6-pack ladder match, Penta kept his championship by defeating Dragon Lee, JD McDonald, and Javon Evans, Rey Mysterio, and Rusev. For the WWE United States title match, Trick Williams defeated Sami Zayn. We had a street fight where Demon Finn Balor defeated Dominic Mysterio. We had for the WWE Women's title match, Rhea Ripley defeated Jade Cargill to win the championship. And Roman Reigns defeated CM Punk for the title. Let me get my stuff out real quick. Enjoyed the Oba one. That was the greatest thing ever for me. Penta, I enjoyed his intro and his thing. I really did enjoy the 6-pack ladder match more than I thought I would. The Trick Williams, Sami Zayn thing, I didn't like it a lot, probably because Lil Yachty was involved. Shout out to my Atlanta native, but you out there with your backward fanny pack didn't make me feel better. I did enjoy the street fight, not on Dominic's part, but just seeing Demon Finn Balor better than when I saw him in the pandemic area against Edge. Yeah, that was great. The women's match, surprisingly, and I know J News is gonna say the opposite. Jay did pretty good. Okay, she did pretty good. Better than she normally do.
I'm not gonna say the opposite at all. This is her best match ever.
Yes.
Her best match ever.
I'm proud.
I was talking to my main man SP3. He said that he prefers Jade's match with Chris Statlander, the last one that she had when she left AEW. He says that's her best match, and I'm like, nah, this is it. This is her best match of her career.
She was pulling out moves that I didn't even think she knew. And
it showed all the training that she's gotten between AEW and the WWE, and she finally put it all together. So congrats to her on finally having a good match on a WWE show. It took for her to get to WrestleMania to do it, which is the place you should be doing it. But for all intents and purposes, now I'll say this for real. Now is where the work begins. Now that you show that you're competent in the ring, the rest of it's got to come with it. And maybe 4 years a little late in my book, but hey, better late than never. Rhea Ripley looked great. Rhea's had an interesting week news-wise and interview-wise and stuff like that. But for people who want to look into that stuff, go online and look stuff up. I hope she's doing okay, and that she's able to overcome what she's dealing with. But obviously, great title change here. Rhea winning her title here. Rhea looked as good as she does look in the ring. She hasn't missed a step, so great for her in that sense. To go to the rest of it, they did the right thing with Obafemi and Brock Lesnar. They made the right decision with the finish there. The WWE Intercontinental 6-pack ladder match thing was the best match of the weekend for the WWE, in my estimation. It should have been the concentration was make it a spot fest, make sure it's a spot fest. They did that, and they delivered. Penta retaining made all the sense in the world. To what Delores was saying, this whole Lil Yachty being teamed with Trick Williams over the last couple of weeks made no sense to me. Because when's the last time Lil Yachty was even relevant in the world today? To be quite honest,
he got canceled a long time. Because I know you don't know. He got canceled a long time ago for defending non-African American woman who said some words and things about African American people, and he got canceled after that. And then somebody said they were trapped in a contract with him, and then after that they just sent him to the moon. And nobody's really been listening since then. Also, he messed up Trick Williams' entrance. Talking about lemon pepper steppers. Do you feel me? I'm like,
you can tell. I don't know why, but it correlates to me that you can tell that he's a bad stage performer, because the amount of time he took in between the hype up for Trick Williams, to me, was like, why are you letting so much dead air come into play during his entrance when you're supposed to be the hype man? Like, what are you doing out here? You're not even doing the hype man part right.
Also, Trick Williams, I appreciate the thought, but it looked like you carried toilet tissue.
Yeah, the whole train thing was, it was a bit
cut off. It should have just kept going until he got to the end, but it cut off, and then it looked like it wasn't even the same material or the same stuff to go to the jacket he had.
It wasn't. But he wanted it. He, at the end of the day, when the spotlight came on and they started his entrance, it looked great.
Speaking about his lemon pepper steppers, Danica pointed out something. Shout out to Danica from Workers Wrestling Network that was with me today. She pointed out something. The match before, we had a big long ad about this match is sponsored by Wingstop. Why did you do the Wingstop thing on the lemon pepper stepper of Trick Williams? That would have been the perfect combination.
Forget all that, man. I don't even want to talk about the ads and the commercials in this for another freaking entire year. But yeah, I never understood the Lil Yachty pairing with Trick Williams. They came up with a music video during the week. It was a whole thing, man. Sami Zayn being the villain here, playing the heel role, is just, I don't know, man. And mind you, the reason as to why I say I don't know is not because of what Sami does or what Trick is doing. Like, if y'all pay attention to the crowd, the quote unquote WWE universe, there were times throughout the weekend where what they were cheering for didn't make sense and what they were booing for didn't make sense. Like, a lot of what the WWE universe was doing was backwards. And I'm like, I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone sometimes. And that to me was just confusing. And this is coming from a person who's been watching professional wrestling for 30 plus years. Like, the crowd confuses the television viewer at home. Because it's like, which side are you on?
Okay. When you come to Trick Williams, listen. When a man, I started to say the word. When a man come out and it whoop that Trick, he looking cool. And the the other man, which I hate to admit because I told a nigga I hate to say it. I was a little tired. And when he was standing there next to that gingerbread man, I was like, kind of look like the gingerbread man. I couldn't take it because they, in real life, put a gingerbread man next to that man and just made it kind of like, I was like, Sammy, you going out bad. And at that moment, Sammy became the villain because it was like, you can't take that joke. He calling you the gingerbread man. You can't take it. And so that's what some people like. Yeah,
that's tricky though, Delores. That's tricky, right? Because for everything that folks of melanated skin go through and things of that nature, for some people, quote unquote gingers, right? People who have red hair, things of that nature, they go through their own traumas and things of that nature.
We saw throughout the night that they don't care about.
I get that.
WWE literally said, Michael Cole got on the camera and said that these smaller people want to be called the M word.
Yes, correct.
And we should call them the N word.
Right.
I was like, what have are we back to like degeneration X days?
I felt like the WWE has jumped the shark so many times in recent memory that I don't know what's necessarily what to do and or say anymore. But like I said, on SmackDown with the gingerbread man thing, it was meant to be funny. I felt like they jumped the shark there because it was like, what's the need for this? This is some real clown shit. Like, we can't do any better than this? Like, I don't understand. You know, there's that.
They put a picture up side by side like they used to do back in the day. Yeah. Like if I call somebody a roach, or not even a roach, but if I call somebody an ant, and then the next thing you know, a picture of them and a picture of an ant come up on the screen. They could have did that, but instead they had a real life-size version of a gingerbread man. And I swear to God, and so I was looking at it, I was like, this is stupid. But on a certain point, but normally Sammy's character would be like, hug the gingerbread man, laugh, joke, taking pictures with the gingerbread man. But the fact that he got so angry, even though I know the reason behind it, or quote unquote the character, he also is turning evil because people think he a punk, essentially. They don't think him seriously.
People consider him a pushover and things of that. I get the characterization and what's happened in the evolution of the character. I get all that. I'm just saying that there's no need for the clown shit. Just evolve and develop the character without the freak. And this is not all the time, right? It's a situation per situation basis. But sometimes the clown show BS isn't necessary for certain feuds. And for me, with this, it's like you already had the story to tell here. You didn't need the inclusion of Little Yachty. You didn't need the gingerbread man thing or whatever. You didn't need that. And it's like, it was just extra for no reason. The Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio thing, I said the same thing about the Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre thing. When it came to the unsanctioned match, I'll say it here with the street fight. The gimmick match was unnecessary. It wasn't needed here. There was no stakes in this match at all whatsoever. It was cool to see Finn's body paint design and everything else in between. Yeah, because Finn's a real creative dude. And when they do the demon stuff for him, he has great entrances and the body paint is always cool. I think this is the first time Finn has won as the demon in many, many years. So I guess I got to give WWE props for that. Dominic Mysterio needs to hit the gym. And this isn't body shaming shit. Like, bro, if you having issues with a table, we got a problem. We got a problem, man.
I can pick up the table quicker than he can. I wonder, like, what's the purpose of you with this table?
What are we doing?
He's struggling. He also
he's struggling with this table
and some stuff. He was really.
That killed the whole thing for me. And there was one point, and AEW is also very guilty of this. The setup of a move in the match. There was one blatant setup part for a move that Finn Balor did for Dominic Mysterio. I think it was the first time that Dominic was trying to set up for the 619. And I was like, oh, he dead ass just stood there and Finn was a little bit confused, and so was Dominic. And then Finn just turns around slightly. Dominic hits the rope and then hits Finn. And it's like, oh, who missed the timing here? And it's like, all right, good enough, whatever. Accidents and things happen during a match, but that threw me off as well. I just like the part that Finn won because it's been a while since Finn's won anything of substance, or should I say, won anything of note. But this match had no stakes. There's no championship on the line here. Bringing the Demon into this match made no sense because Finn doesn't need the Demon in order to defeat Dominic Mysterio. So this match was just there to be there. Like I said, Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill was a terrific match to me in my eyes. Jade Cargill's best match of her career. Rhea stayed killing it. And then Roman Reigns and CM Punk was exactly what it was supposed to be, if I'm being completely honest. They tried to draw the match out complete with entrances for a full 45 minutes. I think the match might have been maybe a little bit, the actual match itself might have been a little bit under half an hour. But they gave us typical WWE main event fare. It was the only match of the weekend that got any real significant time, because even the Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton match was way shorter than this, or I think it might have been half of this.
It should have never happened. And
CM Punk is old school as they come. I still give him credit for that, even though I'm no longer a big fan of his. Roman was Roman at the end of the day. I can't put anything past the Tribal Chief. He does his best work in these big matches. He still talks his trash, and he still looks like $1 million. And I guess I'll give him that for it. The match was good. It wasn't a bad match at all. But for them to give the majority of the time to just this match was heavily disappointing. When the WWE does not overbook their shows in thereof, they don't put a bunch of matches on their shows like AEW does. So for other matches not to get time, and for this to be the only match that got good time, is heavily disappointing, especially with how much people have to pay to just watch these shows online and on TV for the people who are ticket holders who went to the shows in person, and everything else in between. This is ass backwards. And the ads and the commercials, that's why we watch TV. We don't watch pay-per-views for that shit.
This is the confusing part. That they deliberately left out. For those people who started to watch the hour or 2 hour on ESPN, people dropped off. And they didn't pay for ESPN Unlimited. What I found out from Anika today was if you went to ESPN, they were giving you ESPN Unlimited for 7 days free. So most of the people who could have watched it, or most of the content creators like us, who would tell people, okay, ESPN Unlimited or however you find it, if it was advertised that, hey, you can, from WWE, you can come in and watch this for 7 days. You get 7 days to come in, check it out, see if you want it, That would have been a repeat thing that could have brought more people into it. And then on top of that, my biggest pet peeve is, and it's late at night and I don't give a fuck. I'm sick and tired of these fucking Roman Reigns entrances. And she's just going, and I'm like, this is some fucking shit. I've heard this 99 different ways. Stop the shit at this point, okay? Because if it was funny that we were like, oh, it take Roman Reigns 45 minutes to get to the goddamn ring. But now it's irritating. He is slow motion walking, and now they done got him where they make him look like he is like an HD walking where the sweat even come down him is just dripping and you can see the pebbles of sweat. I don't give a fuck about that, okay? I can see him in standard high definition walking fast and I still would care, okay? That's the point. It seems like they forcing it down our throat. Forcing it down our throat. Also, CM Punk, they don't like you, okay? They don't like you. And the reason why I say they don't like you is your jacket had 3 people on the side that died from WWE. Died that worked at WWE. One person that was from a rock band that you love, and your dog who passed away. WWE mentioned the 3 people on the side and the rock band person and said, these are the patches that CM Punk has on his jacket. And I was like, and Larry is standing there on the jacket. Why y'all ain't talking about Larry? And most fans know about Larry the dog. He wears them on shirts. He talks about his dog. He was taking his dog everywhere. Matter of fact, the major part of the fight at AEW was about the dog. So why? I just think that they don't, no matter what you do, they don't like you. I think, and I hate to say it, sometimes women are the first people to see stuff coming and they get out of the way. Your wife might be getting out of the way to let you know that, this is a hot mess over here. I see it. You got to see it. Now, I thought it was a stark contrast of you coming out with no music, and then when you punch the ground, then the music come up. But to me, if you had enough time to sit there and say, oh, he got patches that represent things to him on his jacket, and then go through all of them except for his dog who died, and make a point that even Michael Cole took time to notice that one of the people on his jacket was a friend of his that had been working at WWE. He loved him and he appreciated Punk putting him on his jacket, but didn't take the time to tell him that his dog who passed away is on his jacket. As a CM Punk fan, I'm beginning to see they don't like you, sir. You might as well find your ventures and move elsewhere. Not move elsewhere like so, but maybe do like AJ Styles, take a backstage thing. Even AJ talking about being a backstage. AJ's Hall of Fame. Speaking of that, AJ Hall of Fame, I appreciate it. All the rest of the people that was inducted in the Hall of Fame, other than Stephanie, I would say Stephanie did a good job. Everybody else, what was the reason? What was the reason? The Hall of Fame sucked. Night 1 sucked. SmackDown and Raw sucked. Did y'all even try? Did you even try? And then we had these matches. Yes, they were good. But what substance do they have behind them? What substance? And then we spent the Becky AJ match talking about Becky beefing with the referee. And that might be a match between Becky and the referee. What kind of shit? Come on now. I mean, that was a waste of my damn time. And it makes people not want to buy night 2. As Killer Cam said on that show, I'm tired of Saturday niggas. I want a Sunday person to come here. It seems like you need to skip Saturday because it's trash. Y'all don't care about Saturday. Sunday is where you need to be.
I will say this with a bias. Killer Cameron, aka Cameron Giles, hasn't had a good thing to say since 1998. So you using him as any sort of credibility is non-contandre.
Listen, Cam has been on a semi-good roll.
To who? In whose eyes?
Semi-good roll. Him and Mace on the podcast, I give them credit. They do get their little chick, kicks and giggles off of. Okay,
it's a joke. It's a menstrual show, and you know it. That's fucked. It's fucked up for me to say, but that's what it is.
I know it, and that's the sad part because I used to be a Mace and a damn fan. But this is the thing about it. Also, was it not waiting? What was it? If it's not waiting, who's on the post wrestling? Waiting and
I don't know who they are.
Okay. Well, the post wrestling made a note, and the man wouldn't let it go. He wouldn't let it go all throughout the podcast. That Cameron said he was gonna show up on Saturday. And that he never showed up. And they were like, so what was the purpose of y'all?
You want to know why he didn't show up?
Why?
Because he couldn't afford it. They wasn't flying his. Let me put it to you straight. They wasn't flying his dumb ass out there for free. All right, he couldn't afford it, and they wasn't flying his dumb ass out there for free. I'll put it in that plain text.
I will tell you all. I sent that video to everybody to the beginning and the end. When Jay was like, he's like, and I don't smell when the Lucha cooking, and Jay snatched him like a little kid over the desk and laid him on the floor. My favorite part of that whole interaction wasn't just that. It was the fact that afterwards, when he came with the ice pack and stuff, he had space. Where was you at when I needed some help? And the man said, I was there. The lady was like, yeah, he was pulling people off you. He's our first person over there. And the man said, I couldn't tell, I was on the ground. I said, why? Why do we do this? We had a lot of reveals during the weekend. First of all, I already knew that Lola and Damien date because she puts it all on the social media. But then she put that he made her a walk-in closet at his house. Because she didn't have no real closet at his house. And I was like, oh, so y'all live together. That's great. But Shannon Sharp was messy when he asked Jey Uso, who you talking about when you said my girl a baddie? And he was like, oh, I got the baddest thing down there. And she was like, so what's her name? He was like, why you gotta ask me these questions? You already know. I was like, oh, so Jada, you get acknowledged now. That's great.
This was
a messy weekend. That's what it was. It was messy weekend.
You know what it is? I want to get over this weekend. So we should move on, Delores. That's what we should do. We should move on.
We're gonna go back in the back because I'm watching all the bets with the eye goggles, laughing my butt off. Ladies and gentlemen, we go to AEW and AEW Dynamite. We had spring break through 2026 night one. Tommaso Ciampa defeated Desmond Xavier. We had for the AEW TNT title match, Kevin Knight defeating Claudio Castagnoli. We had Will Ospreay defeating Hechicero. We had AEW TBS title match, Willow Nightingale. Oh, God. The pain I feel every time I say it. Defeat Camille. And AEW World title match, Darby Allin defeated and won the title against MJF. Jenny, you got something to say about AEW?
I do. I thought that Dynamite was strong. A couple of things here and there that I must say. One, I thought Tommaso Ciampa doesn't know how to have a bad match. I will say this though. Ever since Desmond Xavier got left NXT, I've noticed something about him specifically that I'm not going to say it irks me, but it does jump out at me, and it's the pace in which he wrestles his matches. It's very plodding and slow for a guy who wrestles the style that he does. So that's just something that popped out to me. That pops out to me.
I thought I was the only one. I was about to say he wrestles slow, like.
The exact term that I used was that he's wrestling at half speed. So that to me always stands out.
So he like Paige. He can't keep up.
And mind you, he can. It's not like he's not athletic. He just needs to pick up the pace. That's all.
I think he's just used to it, and it might be comfortable for him and safe for him.
I guess.
Some wrestlers said they feel that WWE is better because they feel safer. But I think that's how can I say it? It's safe is like your longevity. You thinking about?
No. Listen, preference is preference, and obviously you want to be out there for as long as you want to be. But it doesn't mean you have to go out there and wrestle at 100 miles an hour either, right? That's why to me it's like, well, he's wrestling at half speed. If he was wrestling at 75%, it would just look better. Right, from a performance and perspective standpoint, right? It's not like he's a bad wrestler or anything of that sort. But even when he does stuff at half speed, there are times when he does certain movements, not even sequences of moves, just certain movements where it's like, dude, you can hurt yourself doing that movement that slow. So it's like either pick up the pace, dude, or like leave it for Zach and Myron, because this shit that's good. Him wrestling as slow as he does with how everyone else in AEW wrestles at a higher pace, that's gonna get him hurt. So either you pick up the pace or you do something about that. That's my own personal opinion. But hey, it is what it is there. I thought Kevin Knight versus Claudio Castagnoli was really good. Kevin Knight wrestling from under there. He looked good against Claudio. So that was a good match for the TNT Championship. Will Ospreay versus Hechicero. We're still concentrating on Will's neck injury and things of that nature, and how he's going to continue to wrestle with his surgically repaired neck. I thought that the Will versus Hechicero was a great contrast in styles. Willow Nightingale against Camille. For me specifically, I thought that this match was well put together. This is the best I've seen Camille look. Camille and Jade Cargill are much more alike than people would like to think in the ring. So I thought this was the best I've seen Camille look ever. And I used to watch her NWA stuff. So she's been training a lot. She's been getting better a lot, and it showed in her match here against Willow Nightingale. I don't necessarily know what happens with Camille going forward in AEW, but I think that she has a spot there because AEW always has a need for heel women in their division. And then the Darby Allin beating MJF stuff, I called this weeks ago. Some people were mad at me. They were upset with the fact they didn't believe me. They were saying it was a total joke. He's not world championship material. Y'all was all wrong at the end of the day. And I don't care for y'all being wrong. Darby Allin is the face of the alternative, and that's what AEW is supposed to be. So he represents the company just as well as MJF does, believe it or not. So I dug the fact that Darby won. I understand people's gripes with how Darby won. The four coffin drops and the headlock takeover, but that's more of a callback to how this all started with MJF. So it was a little bit of poetic justice there for Darby Allin to win the way that he did. And he's going to kick off his title reign in the only fashion he knows how, at 100 miles an hour, because he's got his first title defense against Tommaso Ciampa coming up this Wednesday on Dynamite. And that's going to be a banger of a match. So that's all I got to say about AEW Dynamite this week.
Yes, we're on to Janice. Did you watch ROH?
I did. I watch it regularly.
Yeah, I know ROH. It went from feeling like I was at a picnic and having to bring food because we were traveling for a long time. So it went short. So now we're kind of getting back to some long matches. Mm-hmm. We had the ROH on the 17th. Survivor of the Fittest qualifying match was Billy Starks defeating Lacey Lane. Survivor of the Fittest qualifying match, Yuka Sakazaki defeating Viva Van. We had for the ROH Pure title, Lee Moriarty defeating Marshall Von Erich. I'm getting sick. We on a truth kick. I'm sick of seeing these doggone Van Erichs. On the Survival of the Fittest qualifying match, Trisha Dora defeated Hyan. We had Survival of the Fittest qualifying match, Persephone defeating Isla Dawn. For the ROH World title television title match, we had Nick Wayne defeating Evil Uno. Ooh, shocker. AR Fox defeating Sasuke.
Yeah, Daisuke Sasaki from DDT.
The Daisuke part I be losing. The Lethal Twist. They always find a way to put them into some weird stuff. Blake Christian, Jay Lethal, and Lee Johnson defeated Aaron Solo, Nick Camarado, and QT Marshall. We had a Survivor of Fittest qualifying match. Maya World defeated Robin Renegade. We had the ROH Women's World title proving ground match where Athena defeated Zeta Steel. James, what did you feel about this show?
This show was basically used to set up the next ROH pay-per-view And I don't know why I'm forgetting the name right now of the ROH pay-per-view. And I believe it's next weekend, if for all intents and purposes. But yeah, that's their next pay-per-views next weekend. All the survival of the fittest qualifying matches. It's basically going to be like a 6, or is it going to be a 5-pack or a 6-pack challenge for the ROH Women's Championship? But it's going to be Billy, Yuka, Trisha Dora, and Persephone taking on Athena in that survival of the fittest match.
Only match I see is in May.
Oh, okay, my bad.
May 15th. It's Supercard.
Okay, so there's that. So they
have a couple it's the women's title survival fittest match is Athena, Sakazaki, Trisha Dora, Billy Starks, Persephone, and Maya World.
All right, so they have about a month to tell the story on ROH TV. So now that we know who's going to be in the match, I'm assured that the ladies will be going back and forth, having matches between each other and promos cut backstage and stuff like that or whatever. So that's going to be what's going on ROH TV going forward. They're heavily concentrating on the women there. Nick Wayne had his defense against Evil Uno. Thought that was a decent match. AR Fox looking strong on ROH in 3 consecutive weeks now with some wins. And then of course can't miss Maya World. She's part of that survival of the fittest match as well. And then Athena versus Zeta Steel was great. If I'm being honest. So they have good young ladies as a part of the AEW/ROH system. So I want to see more of them, and I want to see them continue to evolve and grow. So solid episode of ROH this week.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to Collision. And it was on the 16th. It was spring break, breakthrough 2026, day 2. The Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, defeated the Rascals of Myron Reed and Zachary Wentz. We had the AEW Trios title eliminator match where the conglomeration of Kyle O'Reilly, Orange Cassidy, and Roderick Strong defeated the Lethal Twist of Blake Christian, Jay Lethal, and Lee Johnson. I swear, they just put people in the stuff and just start changing names, and it just makes me sick. That happens with WWE too. Like, you just can't be doing that. Hikaru Shida and Chris Statlander defeated Big Annie and Delores Rouge. We had AEW Continental title eliminator match. John Moxley defeated Nick Wayne. Pac defeated Leo Rush. I actually like that. Brody King and El Sky team of Mascara Dorada and Mystico defeated Cole Rivera, Casey Riff, and Ricky Gibson. And for the AEW women's title match, we had Thekla defeating Alex Windsor. Jay News, what did you think about this?
This was a great episode of Collision, if I'm being quite honest. I think this version of the Bucks is the best the Bucks have looked in quite some time against this specific version of the Rascals here. Myron Reed and Zachary Wentz, they had a banger match there. The trios match was hella entertaining and super dope. Glad to see the conglomeration back, that of Kyle O'Reilly, Orange Cassidy, and Roderick Strong. The Lethal Twist combination is really good too. Blake Christian, Jay Lethal, and Lee Johnson. They looked real good in this match, man. So hopefully we get to see more of them as a trio on AEW TV. Whatever's going on with Hikaru Shida is intriguing me right now, and I want to continue to see the story of what's going on with Shida develop. There is some conspiracies out there about Chris Statlander right now, and her possible doing of or undoing, should we say, of one Tony Storm. There is a conspiracy out there about Chris Statlander right now. So she's one of the only women not really saying much during promo time right now, and everybody else is just asking questions. So it's interesting. I think from my vantage point, at least, what's going on with Hikaru Shida, separate from what's going on with Chris Statlander, is super interesting. John Moxley versus Nick Wayne was a banger of a match. Nick Wayne, man, shouts to that young dude, man, and good luck at the Best of Super Juniors tournament. But this match against John Moxley was definitely one that folks should go back and watch. Pac versus Lio Rush was super entertaining for Lio Rush's new character. How the members of the Death Riders, or Daniel Garcia specifically, treated Lio Rush, how Pac was reacting to Lio Rush's new character and his new look and everything else in between, and how they sold it. I thought that was inspired, and I thought it was funny, but I thought it also made sense based on Leo's new character. So that match what stood out to me as well. The Brody King and Sky Team match was a basic squash match. I think the match lasted maybe 45 seconds. I don't know. And they won. So that was cool. And then Tekla versus Alex Windsor was a physical affair, and those girls got after it. They beat the crap out of each other, much like Tekla and Jamie Hayter did. And Tekla came out the victor here, even though Tekla used underhanded means as well to beat Alex Windsor. So there was that. So I thought it was a terrific episode of Collision.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. And you all know I love a good wrestling. But last week we weren't able, it came on the same day. But we're going to talk about AEW Dynasty. The 0 Hour, we had Alex Windsor defeat Marina Shafir. Camille defeat Big Annie. Big Ann or Annie. I call her Annie. I don't know why. AEW National Title match, Jack Perry defeated Mark Davis. And for the AEW Women's World Title match, we had Divine. I'm going to try it too late. Lena Cross and Megan Bang defeated Hanan and Maya World. Janice, you got anything to say about the 0 Hour that happened last?
I enjoyed the hell out of the 0 Hour, to be quite honest. I thought Alex Windsor and Marina Shafir was really, really good. It looked ugly. It sounded ugly. But Alex Windsor ended up getting the win there, with Marina Shafir ending the match with a smile on her face. For those folks who pay enough attention to the storylines on AEW TV, the Death Riders are accomplishing exactly what their goal has been this entire time. Keep an eye on that. Camille made her return here against Big Ann. It was basically a squash match for people to get reintroduced to Camille. Jack Perry versus Mark Davis was pretty good. And then the women's tag team match should have been on the main show. This match banged. The Divine Dominion versus High End and Maya World. The girls went all out. All four of them went all out. So much props to them. They ended the 0 Hour in good fashion. And then we go on to the main show.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to choke myself to death. It was on the 12th in pay-per-view provider you can watch. The Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, defeated Don Callis' family of Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita. We had Ricochet defeat Jericho. Doing the Lord's work, another brother beat somebody of a non-brother color. Darby Allin defeat. It happened 2 Sundays in a row that the man who always beat the black people got beat. Jesus works in a way that you don't even know. Darby Allin defeated John. Skip Reps still evident there. Andrade El Idolo. We had an AEW World Tag Team title match with FTR. Cash Wheeler and Dex Howard defeated Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. We had AEW TNT Casino Gauntlet match where Kevin Knight defeated Anthony Bowens, Bandito, Daniel Garcia, El Colon, Mike Bailey, Pop Roosh, Tommaso Ciampa, and Willa Yuta. We had for the AEW Women's World Title match, Thekla maintaining her championship by defeating Jamie Hayter. AEW Continental title match, we had John Moxley defeating Will Ospreay. And for the AEW World Trios title match, the conglomeration of Kyle O'Reilly, Orange Cassidy, and Roderick Strong defeated the Dogs of Clark Connors, David Finlay, Gabe Kidd, in the title change. And for the AEW World Title match, MJF defeated, by God, Kenny Omega. J News, what did you think about this?
I enjoyed Dynasty quite a bit. Not their best show of the year, but a really good show nonetheless. AEW knows how to do pay-per-view better than any other wrestling promotion out there. That's my personal opinion. The Bucks versus Okada and Takeshita ruled. That tag match definitely outshined the other tag match on this show, and the other tag match on the show was pretty good within itself. But the Bucks are on a mission right now for whatever reason, and they're at their best right now. And that match they put together versus Okada and Takeshita, continuing to tell the story between Okada and Takeshita and how they don't like each other and how they don't get along and things of that nature, was great within the match. But then the structure of the match and just the Young Bucks going all out with their spots and things of that nature. Props to the Bucks, man. Can't say enough about them. Ricochet winning over Jericho, I thought was a surprise to a lot of people, but a welcome surprise nonetheless. Hopefully there's some good character evolution and growth for Jericho. I hope that Jericho does not go back and default to being the leader of a faction, even though I feel like he's going to have some sort of a trios match between Ricochet and his other members of the Demand. Jericho needs some help, and we'll see as to who he gets to help him out this time around. I don't think it's going to be paid in full, that of Will Morrissey and Brian Keith, but we'll see as to who's going to be in the Jericho Vortex this time around. My favorite match of the night was Darby Allin versus Andrade El Idolo. I thought that the match needed more time, but for the time that they got, they killed it. The AEW Tag Team title match where FTR retained their championships over Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. Classic tag team wrestling bout here. The way that it was structured, the way that they were able to pull off certain moves and Adam Copeland catching color accidentally in this match made it all the worthwhile. The feud between Adam Copeland and FTR is not over by a long shot, but it's definitely leading towards something coming at All In, I believe. So keep your eye out on that. Great win for Kevin Knight here, winning the TNT Championship in this gauntlet match. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought the structure of this particular gauntlet match was the best it's been in quite some time. So shouts to AEW there and Kevin Knight for the win. Tekla and Jamie Hayter, another hard-hitting affair between these two ladies here. The beginning of the match was a little slow, and I felt like the girls were told to do one thing, and then they scrapped whatever they were told to do, and then just scrapped in the ring. And that just made for a better match overall. Yet again, Tekla had to beat Jamie Hayter with underhanded means here as well. So it kept Jamie strong, but it kept Tekla as champion there. Jon Moxley versus Will Ospreay. For most people, that's going to be their favorite match or the best match of the night here for Dynasty and stuff like that. And I'm not going to take anything away from anybody who thinks that at the end of the day, because it was a great match. But we right now are telling the story of how Will Ospreay is going to overcome this neck injury and this recent neck surgery to somehow, some way get himself back in the AEW title picture. And Jon Moxley defeating him here helps Will tell that story, because it seems like Will's going to be having to wrestle from under and be the underdog babyface going forward. The conglomeration winning the trios championships here. Supposedly that was the plan the whole time. Unfortunately, one of the members of the Dogs, Gabe Kidd, got hurt during this match legitimately. I think he separated his shoulder. So not props, but get well soon to Gabe Kidd on that end. But the conglomeration of Kyle O'Reilly, Orange Cassidy, and Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly being back and returning in Vancouver, which is his hometown, was a cool shot there, and him winning a championship was great, especially with everything that's been going on with Kyle O'Reilly outside of the ring. And then another great match was MJF versus Kenny Omega. They drove that car real slow down Broadway. MJF and Kenny Omega did. The structure of this match was excellent. I think Kenny Omega puts together these matches in these roller coaster ways in order for people to get the ebbs and flows and peak and go down and peak again. And it was masterful in there between Kenny Omega and MJF retaining the championship the way that he did. And now Kenny Omega having a little bit of self-doubt after his match with MJF and things of that nature. We'll see as to what happens with Kenny Omega going forward. But I thought that was a fantastic match as well at Dynasty, which I thought was a really, really good AEW pay-per-view.
Fine with me, buddy. Yes, it was. I did enjoy it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go on to Batman TNA. And we're going to go into episode 1135 on the 16th on AMC, where Casey Navarro defeated AJ Francis. He did the Lord's word. Jada Stone defeated Tasha Steelz. EC3 and Eric versus Eric Young ended in a no contest. 4-on-2 handicap match. The system, Bear Bronson, Brian Myers, Cedric Alexander, and Eddie Edwards defeated Leon Slater and Moose. News, I know you didn't see this. I hope you didn't see this.
I did not.
Because I saw this and I see why there have been multiple companies that teamed up with TNA, and I see why none of them work. They do stuff like this. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on to Mania Weekend. We're going to start with Progress, and it was Progress Las Vegas 2, Chapter 9, 193. It came on the 16th. We saw Subculture of Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews defeat No,
you said it right. It's Kuro.
I don't know why I thought I was saying it wrong. Listen, it's late at night. I'm so tired and I'm about to die. I'm trying to get over to the threshold. LJ Cleary, Kuro and LJ Cleary. We had Simon Miller defeating Danny Jones. Super Strong Style 16-man tournament 2026. First round match. Leo Rush versus Ethan Allen. It was a good match. I just think that I could have got more out of it. Emerson Jane defeated Lena Cross, Mercedes Martinez, Renee Mitchell, and Shotzi Blackheart. I like that women's match. Progress Pro this title. Listen, we're not doing all the dollar matches. Paul Walter Hauser, no shock. Every time it's something like this, he wins. Defeat Big Damo. For the Super Strong Style 16 Women Tournament 2026 first round match, we had Rio defeat Vixen. And for the Progress Pro World title match, we had Man Like Doris, accompanied by Brody Lee Jr. defeat Michael Oku. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll see that Brody Lee appeared in the match in a later slide. We're going to go on to WrestleCon, and they had their Mark Hitchcock Memorial Super Show on Trilla TV on the 16th too. Swoggle and Thrasher defeated Heath and Rhino. 4-way elimination tag match, we had Love and Peace. Ben K and Hio defeat CPF, which is Danny Black and Joe Lando, and Mala Fama. J News, I'm messing this Spanish word up. Latigo and Toxin, and the Starman of Starboy Charlie and Starman. Mark Davis defeated Masato Tanaka, the Swirl. That's who I know them as, not this. Blake Christian and Lee Johnson defeated Subculture of Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews. With a 10-man tag of Danny Jones and Derek Dillinger, Jimmy Townsend, Lacey Lane, and the Beast Mortals, who defeated Gravity, LJ Cleary, Mance Warner, Steph DeLander, and Von Vertigo. We had Bandito defeating Galeno Del Mal. That was something. We had Man Like Doris defeat Ethan Allen for the Progress World title, and the Demand of Bishop Kong Ricochet and Toa Leona defeated Jet Speed of Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey, along with Michael Oku. Okay, that was the match that replaced Ricochet versus Leon Slater. We're gonna go on to the HOG show, which I didn't pay for, and we're gonna go to Culture Clash. Culture Clash took place on the 16th too on Trilla TV. Kid Broadway defeated Raymond Bright. That's a J News word. Fumi. And
Fumi and Kuta. That's that brother's from somewhere in Africa.
Yes. I listen. I mind you, I will listen to something 6 times, and the moment I'm supposed to say it, I'm the person who you don't take tests with. Okay. You can ask me the questions, any other thing, but the moment you say test, I don't remember nothing of it. Defeated Angel, JJ Doze, JJP, Kuro, and Raheem Royal. We had an HOG women's title match with Shotzi Blackheart kept her championship by defeating Charlie. We had a non-title match with Brody King and Zillify 2. I tell you, these big meaty men were slapping me. Ended in a no contest. HOG Cruiserweight title match. Darian Richardson defeated Joey Silver. Bandito defeated Red. I like this show overall. Defeated Amazing Red. HOG title match. Charles Mason defeated Michael Oku. The HOG team title 3-way match. The Hardys, Jeff and Matt Hardy, defeated the Good Brothers of Dak Gallows and Carl Anderson, and the main event of Jay Lyons and Mattis Black. Also was shocked when Friday came because they had some jokes off on their podcast that the Good Brothers were able to induct AJ Styles. Ladies and gentlemen, JCW, not Jersey Cup, because Jersey has the picture of the J. This JCW is Juggalo Championship Wrestling. We're on to Strangle-Mania. Yes, y'all remember that vase. Strangle-Mania took place on the 17th on Triller TV. We had George South and the Rock and Roll Express. I mean, we went old school with this one. Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson defeated the St. Clair Monster Corporation of Beastmen, Congo Kong, Mr. Happy. Kamikaze Chaos match. Kerry Morton defeated Mickey Knuckles. We had the outbreak of Abel Booker and Jackson Crowley defeat the Backseat Boys of JP. These names are crazy. Who with Girl Band was like, yeah, I'm a backseat boy. Jason, JP Grayson, and Tommy Grayson, and they also defeated the Brothers of Funstruction, Ruffo the Clown, and Yabba the Clown. JCW American Title 5-way scramble match. We had, every time I mess that man up, Facade, whatever. Defeat Disco Ray, Mecha Wolf, Mosh Pit Mike, and Ninja Mac. We had a title change for the JCW Women's Title Tag Team Title match. And the new champions are J-Rod and Nyla Rose, which they defeat Alex Crowley and Danny Moe. With Too Tough Tony, Rob Van Dam, and Willie Mack defeat Kenta and the Good Brothers of Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson. The JCW World Heavyweight Title 4-way elimination match with their special referee, EC3, sorry. I'm going to call him W for something. I'm going to say his name because that's his name as a wrestler. Cocaine defeated Caleb Connolly, Matt Riddle, and Nate Nemeth. Ironically, one of these people uses the person who named you, okay? Caleb Connolly eliminated Nick Nemeth. Caleb Connolly eliminated Matt Riddle. And then Cocaine eliminated Caleb Connolly. And last match of the night, if you thought this was weird, it got weirder. Vampiro defeated Big Vito and PCO. If I could catch my time back, I would. Ladies and gentlemen, MLP, somebody also didn't pay for. They had a show, Multiverse. Multiverse took place on the 7th. Oh, did I go past it? Yeah. Multiverse took place on the 17th on Triller TV. Again, Subculture was out here working their butt off. Subculture, Flash Morgan Webster, and Mark Andrews defeated Guy Cool and Von Vertigo. We had Steve Borton defeat Karen Gray. We had the demand of Bishop Kong, Ricochet, and Toa Leona defeat Michael Oku, Rich Swann, and Sydney Akeem. We had for the CMLL World Heavyweight Title match, Hitchcock defeat Jonathan Gresham. Like that match, go back and check it out. Since the Sin City Street Fight, Paul Walter Hauser defeated QT Marshall. For the MLP Women's Canadian Title 4-way match, we had Giselle Shaw defeat Killer Kelly, Persephone, and Shotzi Blackheart. I love that women's match. Amazing Red and El Sky Team, Mascara Dorada and Mystico defeated the Rascals of Damien, Xavier, Myron Reed, and Zachary West. On to GCW, and we got a whole bunch of shows for them. We're going to start off with one that was pretty quick. It was MDK Fight Club. It took place on Triller TV on the 16th with a no ropes barbed wire match where Slade defeated Dr. Redacted. Vipers defeated Charlie Evans and Rena Yamashita. It's a Yamashita and a Yamashita, and I never can remember who name is who.
It's Yamashita.
Yamashita. See, listen. GCW Ultraviolent title unsanctioned street fight. Otis Cougar defeated Toby Klein. We had Hayabusa. Tired. Hayabusa. Say it. Hayabusa.
Yes, Hayabusa.
Busa. I said Busa. Busa. See, that's the country. Masato Tanaka defeated Bear Bronson, Mr. Danger. Watch yourself, because the man right here. Sing it. On to the next show. It was Joey Janela's Spring Break. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes I wish I could get my time back. We had it on the 17th on Triller TV. We had to grab the brass ring, doors, ladders, and chairs match. One Call Matters defeated Bear Bronson, Charles Mason, Gringo Loco, Man Like Doris. When I say, man, you said Doris. We keep going through that. Masato Tanaka, Shotzi Blackheart, Sydney Akeem, Teriyaki, Vendador, and Vipers. Okay. The Rascals, Desmond Xavier, Myron Reed, Zachary Wentz defeated Marcus Mathers and YDMP of Alex Price and Jordan Oliver. We had a GCW World Title match where Atticus Cougar defeated Hayabusa. We had Jack Perry and Marco Stunt back together to defeat KJ Orso and Sam Stackhouse. So we got some AEW people working together again. Because you remember Jack Perry and Marco Stunt, they were kind of like the Jungle Boys. And then you had KJ Orso, Fuego del Sol. The Invisible Man, who came out with Bill Alfonso, defeated the Sandman. Make that make motherfucking sense. Bill Alfonso betrayed the Sandman. Loser leaves GCW match. I would like to say hasta luego to my girl Ella Catch, because Effy beat her and now she has to leave GCW. Megan Bain and Nick Cage defeated Mance Warner and Steph DeLander. And the match that I was kind of shocked by. Brody Lee Jr. defeated Joey Janela. Yes, I said that right. Brody Lee Jr. beat Joey Janela. Now we on to the Gringo Locos, the Wrld on Lucha. Lucha. Ladies and gentlemen, it took place also on the 17th. Listen, I watched a lot of wrestling this week. So if my brain is scrambled like Friday, excuse me, okay? It's coming back probably in 2 weeks. We had a scramble match where KJ Orso defeated Devon Monroe, Dulce Tormenta, and Jimmy Lloyd. Raphael, can't pronounce his last name, or his partner. That seemed like a J News moment. Raphael, I can't pronounce his name. That's not the name I can pronounce. Quintero?
Yeah.
And what's his partner name?
Resplandor.
Resplandor. See, listen. I'm going to learn Spanish. I'm going to be up here talking Spanish. I'm going to be talking shit to everybody. Thunder Rosa defeated Julissa Mexa, Malafama, Latigo, and Toxin, along with Ray Ores, defeated Brillante Jr.
Brillante Jr., yeah.
And the Mexa Boys of Noisy Boy and Spiderfly. I laughed when they came out. Gleno Demal defeated Jack Cartwell by referee seizures. The referee should have made that decision a long time ago. RS Gringo Loco Vendedor defeated Hayo KZ and Yuki Yosh. See, listen. I'm gonna have to go to special classes with J News. Hayo.
Yuki Yoshioka.
Yes, see, this is J News. Lucha Extreme Death Match. We had El Desperado defeating Viper. See, that was easy. That was an easy.
Can I just say this? The thing that I saw the most this weekend was different clips of Viperous making out with different female wrestlers.
Yeah, she was on it.
And I feel like, I mean, I understand, but like,
that's her thing, I think.
Does she?
I've seen her make up with a lot of women. A lot of people, period.
Is there more to her than just making out with women?
I can tell you because that's all I remember of her.
That's sad. That's sad.
It pretty. You just brought this to my picture. Like every time I see her, I'm thinking like she about to make out with somebody or fill up on somebody. That's all I can think of. Ladies and gentlemen, Bloodsport was on the 17th on Trilla TV. We had Matt Mako defeat Angel Verticuzo by referee decision. Sasuke defeated Joe Dashu by KO. Knock that motherfucker. Excuse me. Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Ray Jazz. Mayu Yamashita defeated Janaka by KO. Russ Isaacs defeated Shane Mercer. Pete Dunne defeated. I'm going to mess this word up because I can't even see it. I need to blow my screen up. Well, he defeated his opponent.
Masahi Takeda.
Yes. Abe defeated Eric Stevens by referee decision. Charlie Dillson defeated Timothy Thatcher. 99 Hart. She, which I didn't listen. I probably wasn't paying attention enough because for the past few years, it's either referee decision, knockout, or the person just wins the match flat out. But this time, 99 Hart won by count out against Shayna Baszler. Josh Barnett defeated UG by referee decision. Okay? Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we on to my favorite part of the weekend. And listen, I love it because it's extreme and it takes the cake. It is Effy's Big Gay Brunch 11. Came on the 18th. We had Billy Dixon, Devon Monroe, Jay Vidal, Jordan Blake, Keita Murray, defeat Anton Voorhees, Brooke Havoc, Gabby Forza, Hunter Gallagher, and Monmouth. Brick Savage defeated Mad Dog Connolly, Viperous. Mercedes Martinez, she defeated her. I say every week, every time I see Viperous, she like the ladies. Allie Cash defeated Charlie Evans, Kid Bandit, and Steph DeLander. We had, this is the name of the match, YouTube and everybody else. Perro's Twink Gauntlet match. CPA defeated Anakin Murphy. Anti-Twink Club, which is Gwen Donna and Viva Cross. Bear Bronson Devin Carter, Jay Lux, Julie's, Junie Underwood, Logan Cavals, Marco, Nikki Exis, Pero, and the Platonic Romance. Okay, which is Damien Desire and Richie Cool. We also had, which I love, Zack Sabre Jr. defeating Effy. Dark Sheet defeated Nyla Rose. I love those people. Then we're on to some more shenanigans with GCW when it's Joy Janela Spring Break Immortal Cluster. Listen, it was a short thing, and I want to tell you, it wasn't short enough. The GCW, we only had 2 matches. GCW Ultraviolet title Hardcore Kingdom Steel cage match. Matt Tremont defeated Otis Cougar to win the title. Now we had the cluster match, okay, where Shotzi Blackheart defeated One Call Manders, 25 Cent, Demia, Alex Price, Anakin Murphy, B3CCA, which is Aaron Ortiz and Anthony Vecchio, Brad Bronson, Beastman, Brick Savage, Bobby Flacco, Brooke Haven. Also, J News, she beat Brian Alvarez, Serial Man, Channing Decker, Classy Ali, Connor Claxton, CPA, D'Lo Brown, Dark Sheet, Derek Dillinger, Devis Cass, Dinosaur 1 and Dinosaur 2 and Dinosaur 3, Don Freeze, Dr. Redacted, Emily J, Frank the Clown, and Gabby Forza, Giselle Shaw, Haley J, Heath Slater, Helix, Ian Maxwell, Jack Osborne, Jay Lucas, Jazzy Yang, Jimmy Lloyd, this is Jimmy Lloyd and Jimmy Lloyd, Casey Owens is Jimmy Lloyd, and Jimmy Townsend, Joey Janela, Jordan Oliver, JP Grayson, Juicy Fanal, Julie Montana, Junie Underwood, Kate Arquette, Killer Kelly, Ken Kingsley, KJ Orso, LJ Cleary, Logan Kavas, Man Like Derice, Manny Lemons, Marcus Mathers, Matt Mako, Maya World, Monmouth, Mullet Man, Nate Webb, Nikki XS, Pero, Maddox, Roe Montana, Ryan O'Neill, Sal, Sam Holloway, Sam Osborne, Sam Stackhouse, Sean Ross Sapp, Shay Cassidy, Slade, Sleepy Ed, Starman, which is Starboy Charlie, Stunt Marshall, Tarzap, Teriyaki, The Invisible Man, Thomas Shear, Toby Klein, Tombstone Jesus, Tommy Grayson, and Viperous, Wayne Rhodes, Will Kildis, and Wyatt Rhodes. I lost all the oxygen to my brain just to say that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go on to this from now on. This ain't got nothing to do with me from now on. This all got to do with J News. Okay, we're going to start out with CMLL.
Yeah, there's a CMLL Palm Slam. Took place on the 16th of April. They aired that live on Triller TV. That was the show that Delores told y'all about that cost $60 extra just to watch it. But we had Kemalito and Periquito Zacarias defeated Chamuel and Tengu. For the CMLL World Women's title match, we have Persephone, the champion, defeated Tessa Blanchard in what seemed to be received as one of the better matches of the night. We then had the best match of the night. 65-year-old Blue Panther defeating 54-year-old Ultimo Guerrero in what seems to be the match of the weekend. Galeon Fantasma, Barbosa and Difunto, along with Soberano Jr., defeated Esfinge Valiente Jr. and Jelua. El Sky team of Mascara Dorada and Neon defeated Capitan Suicida and Flip Gordon. Claudio Castagnoli defeated Atlantis Jr. And Místico, along with Templario, defeated Angel Del Oro and Hechicero. On to TJPW, the girls from Tokyo Joshi Pro, live in Las Vegas. They were live on the 16th of April as well. We had Wakana Yuhara and Yuki Kamifuku defeat Toga and Uta Takami. Palm Harajuku, Raku, and Yuki Aino defeated Alexis Lee. Himawari and Shino Suzuki. Mayu Yamashita defeated Mayu Watanabe and Mizuki. International Princess title match, we had Suzumi, the champion, retain her championship by defeating Sakura Hattori. Princess Tag Team title match, the champions, the Inspiration, they retained by defeating Kiyoraku Kiyomi of Hyper Masao and Shoko Nakajima. And then we had Princess of Princess title match where the champion, Yuki Arai, defeated J-Rod. Stardom. The ladies from Stardom had their American Dream show this weekend as well. That was on the 17th. We had the Cosmic Angels of Aya Sakura and Natsupoi defeat Brittany Brooks and Saki. Hanako, Maika, and Mina Shirakawa, teaming for the first time in over a year, defeated Hazuki and Mibi the Loca of Rina Yamashita and Suzuki. Athena defeated Rina. In the NJPW Strong Women's title match, we had Alex Windsor, the champion. She retained her championship versus Saya Ida, or Iida. Neo Genesis of Azumi, May Sarah, and Starlight Kid defeated the Babes of Wrath of Harley Cameron, Willow Nightingale, and Chris Statlander in a very enjoyable match. New Japan Pro Wrestling. We had the Death Match Invitational, promoted by Desperado. That went on the 16th. It was Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Fuminori Abe in a great match. I ran into that match randomly on YouTube. That match kicked ass. We then had Cute Sexy Hardcore three-way match. It was Ishin defeating Effy and Jimmy Lloyd. Runway Rush and Crash A Drop Dead Gorgeous three-way tag team match. We had Kushida and Yamato defeating Busta and the Brain of Alec Price and Jordan Oliver, along with MXM Collection of Mansoor and Mason, who paid tributes to the one and only Milano Collection AT. Doing during their entrance during that match. High stakes heartbreak jackpot tag team title match. We had El Phantasmo and Micah defeat Dragon Kid and Starlight Kid. House Rules hardcore match. We had the one and only Gringo Loco and Joey Janela defeat Daisuke Sasaki and Gato. And then Love and Pieces three-way death match. We had the H8 Club of Matt Tremont and Nick Gage defeat El Desperado and Jun Kasai, along with Masahi Takeda and Rina Yamashita. That was the Death Match Invitational. New Japan Pro Wrestling. This is the Road to Dontaku show that happened this morning. I've got the results here for you, so let me lay it out for you. The first match of the night was a six-man tag team match. We had the team of Masatori Yasuda, Taichi, and Yuya Uemura. They won their match against Taisei, Nakahara, Yo, and Ryusuke Taguchi. We then had a 8-man tag team match, which had the team of Master Wato, Tomoaki Hama, Togi Makabe, and Shota Umino. They lost to Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Shoyo, Yujiro Takahashi, and Chase Owens of the House of Torture. We then had another 6-man tag team match, which had Tatsuya Matsumoto, along with Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto. They lost that match there against members of the United Empire, Jacob Austin Young, Great O'Connor, and Nare. We then had another 6-man tag team match, Toru Yano, Aaron Wolf, and Bolton Oleg. They won their match against members of the House of Torture, Dick Togo, Don Fale, and Ren Narita. We then had another 8-man tag here, members of the Unbound Co., Daiki Nagai, Gato, Yuta Tsuji, and Shingo Takagi. They won their match against members of the United Empire, Zane J, Francesco Akira, Jake Lee, and Callum Newman. And then we had a regular tag match here, or a special tag match, should I say, not a regular, but a special tag match. It was members of the Unbound Co., Robbie X and Oscar. They won over Kosei Fujita and Harley Jackson of TMDK. We then had another special tag match to end the show. It was members of the Unbound Co., Taiji Ishimori and Yuto Ice. They unfortunately lost their tag match against Robbie Eagles and Ryohei Oiwa of TMDK.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a preview. But again, we are previewing J News right here. New Japan Pro Wrestling Road to Dontaku.
Right. This is the show that's going to be happening in a couple of hours, as a matter of fact. We then had the pre-show singles match, which is Jacob Boston Young versus Taisei Nakahara. Masatori Yasuda, Taichi, and Yuya Uemura will go up against 6 or 9 of Master Watson and Ryusuke Taguchi, along with Tatsuya Matsumoto. Great Bash Heels of Togi Makabe and Tome Akiyama, along with Shota Umino and Yo, will go up against House of Torture members Chase Owens, Sho, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and Yujiro Takahashi. United Empire's Francesco Akira and Jake Lee will go up against Unbound Co.'s Gato and Yota Tsuji. Aaron Wolf, Oleg Bolton, and Toru Yano will go up against House of Torture members Dick Dick Togo, Don Fale, and Ren Narita. Shingo Takagi is going to have a special one-on-one match against Zane J of the United Empire. In a non-title singles match, Callum Newman's going to go one-on-one against Daiki Nagai. And then we're going to have a six-man tag here. Eight-man, sorry. It's going to be TMDK's Hartley Jackson, Kosei Fujita, Robbie Eagles, and Ryohei Oiwa going up against Unbound co-members Oscar, Robbie X, Taiji Ishimori, and Yuto Ice. And then for the IWGP Tag Team Title #1 contendership match, we're going to have Bishiman members Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi go up against United Empire members Great Khan and Hanare. And then we're going to have another Road to Wrestling Dontaku show on the 24th. Masatori Yasuda, Reyes Kutaguchi, and Tai Chi will go up against Great Bash Heels of Togi Makabe and Tomoaki Hanma along with Taisei Nakahara. United Empire's Great Khan, Hanare, and Jacob Austin Young will go up against the Goto Revolutionary Army of Hiroki Goto, Tetsuya Matsumoto, and Yoshihashi. Master Wato, Shosa Umino, Tiger Mask, Toriano, and Yo will go up against House of Torture members Chase Owens, Dick Togo, Doki Show, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. TMDK's Hartley Jackson, Kosei Fujita, Robbie Eagles, and Ryohei Oiwa will go up against Unbound co-members Gato, Robbie X, Taiji Ishimori, and Yoda Tsuji. United Empire's Callum Newman, Francesco Akira, Jake Lee, and Zane J will go up against Unbound co's Daiki Nagai, Oscar, Shingo Kage, and Yuso Ice. And to end the show, we're going to have Aaron Wolf, Oli Bolton, and Yuri Omura go up against House of Torture members Don Fale, Ren Narita, and Yujiro Takahashi. More New Japan, Wrestling Wed Zone in Hiroshima, however way you want to say it. That's going to take place on the 25th of April. Aaron Wolf, Ole Bolton, Tiger Mask, and Togi Makabe will go up against House of Torture members Dick Togo, Don Fale, Doki, and Ren Narita. Tomoaki Hanma and Yuri Omura will go up against TMDK members Hartley Jackson and Ryohei Oiwa. United Empire's Callum Newman, Jake Lee, Jacob Austin Young, and Zane J will go up against Unbound co-members Daiki Nagai, Gato, Shingo Takagi, and Yota Tsuji. IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Title match. We're going to have Unbound co's Robbie X and Taiji Ishimori, the champions, go up against the Ichiban Sweet Boys of Kosei Fujita and Robbie Eagles of TMDK. And then we're going to have the IWGP Tag Team Title match go down, which is going to be the Knockout Brothers of Oscar and Yuto Ice against whoever the winner of the show that goes down on the Road to Wrestling Dontaku show on the 24th.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, there is a Wrestling Revolver show, but they don't have anything listed. So it's Revolver Strong on the 25th on Triller TV. Okay. With that being said, that puts us at the end, my friend, on this late night session. Okay. We didn't take you here too long. Oh, hold on. I was acting up. Hold on. They won't let me be in here, J News. There we go. You know, we ain't got no spaces for our special today. But J News is going to tell you a little bit about himself. So, J News, what do you got to tell the good people out here?
Good people, it is late. It is about 12:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time right now. To tell you about myself, you can always catch me here Sundays on the Hit the Ropes podcast with Delores. The QR code gives you the links to my socials on Twitter, on Threads, my Letterboxd account, which has movie reviews of all the movies that I watch on a weekly basis at the movie theaters, because I am a purveyor of the movie theater experience. And you can also catch me intermittently on the True Heel Heat podcast. I should be back on within the next week or two to preview Wrestling Dontaku and go on from there. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell. Appreciate y'all for watching. And hope you all had a good WrestleMania weekend.
Well, I ain't gonna say I did. I didn't go online 24 hours a day, but I sure was watching it and trying to keep up with everything. I would like to thank everybody who came and did the watch alongs, who have came to this. Remember, tomorrow I'm doing the Raw After Mania. I know it's been a while, but I'm doing the Raw After Mania. So come and check me out. Let's play games. Let's have fun. Let's get together, okay? Let's commemorate a good time. Hopefully Raw After Mania will be better than what they gave us before. But I know I said last time I'll do some shout-outs this time, but we'll just wait because it's late. It's almost 12:30. We're out here fighting for our lives. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you, just like I'm going to try to come up with the energy. Just like Seth Rollins, we have burned it down today. It was on fire. We told you about WrestleMania. We told you about all the Mania activities, the shenanigans. And guess what? While it's on fire, I thought, what What could I do, J News, to help these poor people who are in this fire and this heat is burning them alive? What can I do? Because, sometimes heat ain't on the outside. Sometimes it be on the inside. We done got you so hot. And I thought to myself, what if I cut the lights out? Wait, there you go. And you know what that did? Helped it out. Now, make sure you stay tuned to me and J News' page so you know when we're going to come on, because we let you know times ahead of time. Life be life and sometimes. So please make sure you keep the notification and the bell and subscribe. So make sure you're not going to listen. Go to subscribe. Hit that bell over there with J News. Because I hate. I told y'all during the watch along when Randy came out, I hate to be singing, which is already on my short. I hear voices in my head. You didn't sign up for J News? Please, don't want to do that, okay? I don't want to do that. I know J News don't want me to do that, okay? He don't need all that cheddar on his dough because I'm a two-piece of business, okay? So go over there, subscribe to J News because you know better. And when you know better, you'll do better. Get all that good information. Get all that weight loss information. Get all that movie information. Go sign up with J News. Look at that. That man is nice. He's a nice man, Sabella. And I need you to go over there and boost his channel up and all his social media. Okay? Because if we lose J News, I'm going to have the stutter across these names and y'all don't want this. Okay? But until then, ladies and gentlemen, me and J News got to go. So, peace.